Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Career for Youth, a production of Living Game Studio. And just for you know, if after career exploration and you still have not found which career a best fit for your personality, we have a unique assessment to help you find the answer. Visit us at livinggamestudio.com to get the test. In this week, we introduce a new career path, industrial designer. Let me then talk with Lance, a designer, to see if his work is as simple as we imagine. Lance, welcome to the show. Lance, what do you do and where do you work for?
Thank you for having me for the conversation. My current work is designing car. You can call me a transportation designer. I do design exterior, interior, color, and trim.
So you are the one design the outside and engineer is the one design the inside of the new car model. Is that correct?
That is a super common misconception, but it is actually a bit different. In the car world, designers and engineers both design the inside and the outside, just with completely different goals. Think of it as the difference between architecture and structural engineering. I design the surface you see, the styling, the sweeping curves, the aggressive stance, and how the light bounces off the body panels. I want it to look beautiful and emotional, while engineers design everything underneath that surface. I design the look, feel, and layout of the cabin. I decide where the screens go, the shape of the dashboard, the sculpting of the seats, and how the physical buttons feel to press. I focus on the human experience and ergonomics. The engineers handle the packaging and mechanics. They route the invisible air conditioning ducts behind the dashboard, wire up the electronics, design the seatbelt mechanism, and make sure the airbags deploy safely without blowing the dashboard.
Alright, that makes more sense now. So you come up with the initial idea and then hand it over to the engineers to develop it further, right?
Exactly. That is usually how the spark starts. In the industry, we call this the design lead approach. I will sketch out a beautiful, futuristic concept, and then the engineers look at it and say, "Wow, that looks incredible. Now let's figure out how to actually build it without it breaking." If the engineer team find out there is some part does not work and need to tweaks and refines, then me as a designer will continue to modify my sketch. It isn't just a one-way street where I throw a drawing over a wall and walk away. It is actually a continuous loop. There are also times when the engineers propose the concept first. For example, if the engineering team invents a radical new, ultra-flat electric battery pack that sits under the floor, they will bring that chassis to me and say, "Lance, we built this incredibly compact platform. Now, design a beautiful car body that fits on top of it." No matter who starts first, the magic only happens because we work together from day one to the time the car rolls off the assembly line. Do you want to try it out? Give me a rough idea or a feature you'd want on a car, and I'll tell you how I would design it and where the engineers might push back.
Okay, I like this idea. Suppose I want a car that every time I press the button to start the engine, the car will open the door for me. With the car will identify the size of my body and adjust the car door to fit with my body size. So make sure I feel comfortable to get in. Now, it's your turn to design this concept.
That is a fantastic futuristic concept. It's all about creating a sense of theater and perfect personalization before you even sit down. As your designer, I absolutely love the vision. But my engineering partners are already sweating thinking about how to build this. First step is design the concept. Standard hinges won't work. For a door to adjust to different sizes, it needs multiple axes of movement. I visualize a complex, multi-jointed hinge, maybe using a pantograph, scissor mechanism that allows the door to move outward and upward simultaneously, creating a very wide, accommodating aperture opening. Now that I've drawn this elegant mechanism, I can practically hear the engineering team sighing. They would immediately raise some serious challenges that I have to solve for in the next iteration. What happens in a parking lot? If the door always adapts, it might try to open too wide for the standard parking space next to a concrete pillar. We design, discuss, and redesign, and finally we get a consensus, both function and safety and feasible.
It seems like you really enjoy your work, I can tell. So do you focus solely on car design, or do you also work on other areas of conceptual design?
I definitely get carried away when talking about design. When you love what you do, it doesn't really feel like work. To answer your question, while automotive design is an absolute blast, I don't just design cars. As an industrial designer, my skills are actually highly transferable to all kinds of product concepts. Beyond cars, my daily portfolio spans several exciting areas, such as sci-fi and concept art, the wild stuff. Sometimes, companies hire me for blue sky thinking, like imagining what a personal drone transport or a piece of wearable tech might look like 20 years from now, completely unrestricted by today's engineering limitations. I love bouncing between different industries because a clever mechanism used in a medical tool might inspire a brand new way to design a car's center console. What about you? Is there another type of product or a piece of tech outside of the car world you've always thought could be designed better?
Sure, let's dedicate the whole day to another meeting just to brainstorm ideas for new concepts. But since time is limited today, I'd like to ask you a few other things first. Where did you study to become who you are today? And who drove you to become an industrial designer?
I went to school at the Art Center College of Design in California. Growing up, I was caught in a frustrating middle ground. On one side, I loved art and sketching, but I didn't want to just paint canvases to hang in a gallery. I wanted my art to do something. On the other side, I loved science and engineering, but I didn't have the patience to sit around calculating stress load formulas all day. I felt like an outsider to both groups until I discovered industrial design. The moment I realized there was a job where you get to use art to shape the physical, high-tech world we live in, it felt like lightning struck. I chose this career because it gives you a weird kind of superpower. You get to look at a blank sheet of paper in the morning, and a year later, see someone walking down the street using a real, physical object that only existed because you decided to draw it.
My next question is, how do you envision yourself 10 years from now? How do you break free from the monotony of daily life and come up with the brilliant ideas? After all, I understand that creative thinking and artistic flair are two essential skills for a great designer.
By 2036, I see myself moving from just designing individual products to leading a cross-disciplinary innovation studio. The future of design isn't just about making cooler-looking cars or sleeker phones. It's about solving massive, complex, systemic problems. To keep from getting stagnant, a designer cannot just look at other designs. If you only look at cars, you will only design cars that look like everyone else's. To find truly excellent, disruptive ideas, I force myself to look outside my field. I will go to a biotech conference, read a paper on marine biology, or interview a chef about their kitchen workflow. The best ideas happen when you steal a concept from one completely unrelated industry and apply it to another. Creativity fades when you sit at a desk all day looking at a screen. To stay inspired, I have to go out and watch real people struggle with products. Watching a nurse struggle with a poorly designed monitor interface, or seeing an elderly person try to get out of a low car seat, that frustration is the ultimate fuel for a designer. It gives you a problem that demands a creative solution.
Thank you for your answer. Now let's move on to the fun session of this interview today. I had a music gallery. Every time I key in the keyword in the search toolbar, it will come out a song to listen. Now let's try your job in a few words. What would you say?
Shape the future by turning complex ideas into beautiful realities.
Okay, I will key in shape the future by turning complex idea into beautiful reality in the search toolbar. And here a result. Lance, thank you for taking time for the interview today. I wish you a good day.
Conform fluid. Your mind zone is not this fluid.
Smart path is not a path filled with comfort fluid. Get rid of glove, painting brush, using digital pixel to color your spring canvas. I couldn't, I can't, and I won't. Smart path is not a path filling with comfort zone. That is a myth, nobody says so. Go to a calming concert to listen to a local vocal, finding the difference on their voices. Then back to your spring canvas. Smart path is not a path that filling with conform mind. Act different, act innovation. Smart path is not a path that filling with conform mind. Smart path is not a path that filling with conform zone. Smart path is not a path that filling with conform fluid. Your mind zone is not this fluid.
The information provided in this episode is for educational and entertainment purpose only. Please consult with professional career advisor before making any major career decisions. This episode was co-created by Fan and Artificial Intelligence. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you next time.